you've also had times that were disappointing. Did this year and feel any different?
Well, it's disappointing. I think we all had some pretty high expectations and high hopes going into the playoffs. So it's disappointing. I mean, that's the biggest thing. We're all, we all put a lot into it and we all care. And, it's just we didn't have our best series and they did. And so unfortunately here we are. And it's a short season. But yeah, it's a huge disappointment.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna like always. It's a big decision for me and for my family. I know in the whole scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal, but for us, it's a big deal. So we'll just give it its due time and put a little thought and time into it, and we'll figure something out here before too long.
Matt, from a health standpoint, do you feel good?
Yeah, I do, and if anything, I'm really thankful that I was able to enjoy playing here down the stretch because I felt as good as I felt in a long time, which is great. And I think as you get older, you just hope that you can feel good enough to allow yourself to play and be effective. And I was really happy with how my body felt, so I was able to enjoy it and try to help the team and be a positive impact.
Did you take some time after the game to think about maybe that is your last game?
Yeah, I did. I definitely did.
Matt,
Yep.
have you had any talks, or would you be interested in having any talks with Jim or anybody in the organization on if you don't play about staying with the organization in sort of some capacity? Because they've done that with guys before.
Honestly, everything has happened pretty quickly here, so I haven't put a lot of thought into that. First thought will be just to kind of go through the season and then figure out a plan going forward. And so no, to be honest, I don't know. I haven't gone down that road yet.
Matt, you've seen a lot of teams. When you look back on this one, did something lack? Like an identity? Did you guys never kind of completely get on the same page? Like, what would kind of explain?
Well, I don't know. I think the thing with this group that had me excited was the way that we played, in March.
Yeah.
We made a lot of changes this year, and I think they were positives. I think the guys contributed a lot that came in. And I think going into the playoffs, we felt pretty good about where we were at, playing some pretty good hockey down the stretch. So it's hard to answer that one. I think we all felt pretty good about our team going into the playoffs. Obviously, we weren't as good as we could have been. I think that's probably the most frustrating part, is that I think that we had another level and we had a lot more to give. So that's kind of the disappointing part. It's sort of like not fulfilling your full potential there and seeing what you could be as a group, and I think that we had a lot more. So that's probably the biggest disappointment.
Do you feel that way because you feel like people didn't buy in?
No, I don't. I just think that for whatever reason, we didn't have our best game. I don't have any doubt that everybody bought in and everybody gave what they had. It's just, it's 4 games. We didn't find our best, and they did, and obviously they made it tough on us, but everybody makes it tough on you in the playoffs. So I think, it was just disappointing that for whatever reason we weren't, as a group, able to find our best game, and we paid for it.
Matt, so many players don't get the opportunity to spend part of their careers with their kids, where they understand what their dad does. What have these last few years been like?
I'm so thankful for them, honestly. It's I couldn't ask for a better group of guys and a better organization to be around for me and for my family, my kids. They'll wear black and gold for the rest of their lives, I'll tell you that. It's been an awesome ride. It's really just been awesome.
Now, there seems to be some panic outside the locker room that maybe the run is over for you guys. Do you feel like this team can still, if it's the same it is now, can still get something done?
Well, I think, you have a core group of guys that are some pretty elite hockey players, and, I think Jim's always done a good job of surrounding them with the right kind of talent, the right kind of player, and, for whatever reason this year it didn't work, but I think it's a little bit early, honestly, to push the panic button on this group. I think you look at them last year, they were just a whisker away from moving on to the conference finals. And, for whatever reason this year we didn't have it come playoff time, but there's a lot of pretty special players, and I think that, I think it's early to push the panic button on this group.
Matt, I think you've proven that there's a place for an older player in this game still. What about the younger players, though? It's really becoming, they keep saying, a young man's game. What's your thought on
It is.
how important that is to winning?
It is. It's definitely become a young man's game, and you know that's strictly just the pace of the game is so high, and there's so many guys that can skate, and the skill level of the young kids is, you know, they're at 18, 19, 20. They're so much more developed than we were when we came into the game at 19, 20. So it's the game has advanced. The skill level is at a level that it's never been at before, and I think the game is in great shape. It's such a fun game to watch. You see the skill level out there. It's great.